What we are presenting today, as we've done since almost a year now, is the data growth in the world that we are measuring in our networks. And now in December last year, that's when data passed voice. And now we can see how it has continued to grow according to our predictions. And if you actually compare from this quarter 1 year ago to now, the data in the networks in the world has nearly tripled. So we are on a steady growth, on a doubling every year going forward, with a little bit more the last year. So by 2015, at this pace, data in the world will be 30 times larger than the voice in the world. And of course, then it's a completely data-dominated networks that we will see. It starts where you started with the 3G rollouts first. So Europe is ahead, and there the data is already twice as much as the voice, while APAC, Asia Pacific, is like 2 years behind Europe, and so there are a little bit regional differences, but generally the overall global average is now that we have passed, in last year data passed voice, and it's on a steady growth, on a doubling for the coming at least 5 years, maybe up to even the coming 10 years. And if you double something up to 2020, we will have 1,000 times as much data as voice in our networks, and of course that is then it's totally a data sort of dominated network. Of course, voice, while then will be on voice over IP, so it will all be bundled into the same. Yeah, if you look at it, you have to now, if you say 2020, if we have 1,000 times as much, how do we handle 1,000 times as much? And there are a few things you can do. We have already the technology that is 10 times more advanced that we used for voice today. We can do further technology advancements. We will get more spectrum, and we will build smaller cells. So these are the tools that we have. So what the operators do, you have to go for a efficient technology, such as HSPA and LTE and so on, that gives these 10 times improvements over the earlier voice technologies. And then you have to work together globally with other operators and regional bodies to create a harmonized spectrum around the world. So you get the same spectrum bands allocated, so you get more spectrum and the same spectrum, because having the same spectrums means that the vendors will make it cost effective to develop equipment for those spectrum bands. So mainstream advanced technologies, globally harmonized spectrum, but then also build smaller cells. There will be a need to build what we call picocells that are working together with the large macro cells. So this will not be a lot of new towers everywhere, but there will be need to put out small pico base stations on lampposts and so on to increase the capacity. But with the technology enhancements of the existing technologies, with the added spectrum, we think that with about 10 times more base stations, but with the small kind of base stations, we will be able to produce this 1,000-time capacity increase that will take us up to 2020. It's definitely an opportunity with this growth, because it's this is where the growth is. The voice revenues are a big part of the revenues, but they are fairly stable now. The growth, if you look at where you have the money, the revenue growth, that's totally within mobile broadband. So that's definitely an opportunity. But I think to make this sustainable, positive, you will also have to do a fourth thing, and that is to introduce some kind of volume-based charging. So with sort of look from the technology side, it was the mainstream high-efficient technologies, the harmonized spectrum, and the pico base stations. But then if you look at your own business model towards your consumers, you have to introduce some kind of volume-based charging, the same way as some operators already started to do, and as you have on your electricity bill at home, you're charged per kilowatt somehow, and a flat fee for having access to the network. And it will be similar here. You will somehow, in some tariffing, be charged on how much you consume, but it will not be sort of unrealistic, because we will be able to do this very efficiently.